So yesterday, Overwatch updated, and it was kind of broke. They actually let Hanzo fire through shields. Yes, this meant Hanzo could absolutely delete all of the tanks in the game, and Reinhardt mains got a bit more pain, more so than it normally would, because, well, Hanzo just fired through your barriers. Now, this was a bug, and Blizzard actually fixed this fairly quickly, although it did kind of make me laugh, because when I think about it, Overwatch League this year is apparently going to run on an alpha version of Overwatch 2, and alpha generally implies there's going to be a lot of, a lot of changes in that, and maybe a lot of issues, and I hope to God it doesn't just absolutely collapse. Oh my God. Anyway, let's get stuck into the video. So Overwatch receives a balance patch for the first time since August the 5th, 2021. That is a hilariously long time. I mean, what the hell? People seem very unhappy with the changes. And I've got to say, though, the Fade buff Moira, it's pretty fun. I mean, you guys are going to see gameplay of me playing Moira in the background of this video, but I'm really enjoying it. It feels like most people don't really agree that this patch is good for the game. And I'd say maybe chill out a little bit and just step back a moment, because there are some good elements to this. There's obviously some not so great elements to this. But let's take a look at the patch and what this means for Overwatch. It seems insane to me that we've had no major balance changes since August last year, and people are instantly moving to say this current balance patch has totally broken and destroyed the game. Just hold on a second, guys. Let's just not lose our minds. Let's just take a look at what's going on. For a start, people on the Overwatch forums, could you maybe calm down for a second? I know the Overwatch forums are one hell of a place to go and read, but oh my God, I tell you, just look at, I've thrown them up on the screen. I'm not going to read them out. Just take a look at the titles of these. Delete the balance team. Is this a joker? Please don't ever patch the game again. It's just crazy. Like, what's this one saying? Replace the balance team with a 9-year-old. Like, what is going on? The forums overreact like crazy to any change in the game. But this is mental. And also, some people were reacting straight up to the fact Hanzo could shoot through barriers and shields. Obviously, that's a bug. There's no way that would be intentional. That would be bloody stupid. But again, like I said at the top of the video, just make you wonder, doesn't it? Because surely it'd take a 10-second test of like, hey, we've changed Hanzo. Let's fire into a shield. Oh, wait, he can fire through shields. And they kind of didn't do that. So it just makes you wonder what's been going on with this patch. It's like they've just gone, yep, just put the changes in the game. Let's go. Although most of them did come from the experimental patch. Well, I'll say most of them. Some of them came from the experimental patch that the creators actually made a couple of months ago now. Anyway, let's move on. Moira change is fairly harmless to me. It helps Moira with movement, specifically when you're trying to get to high ground. Now, super fade jump was always possible with Moira, but you kind of had to hit map geometry just at the right spot. What I'm thinking of here in my head, the best example of this is the rock on Hanamura first point defense. You could hit that, and if you hit it just right as you jumped with fade, you could access the high ground, get up to sort of where the mega health pack is, and that was always the thing you could do. The thing is now, everybody can super jump. Whenever you use fade, the moment you jump, you get a super jump. But what you can do now is super duper jump, and that's a terrible name, but I'm just going to roll with it. But you can basically, if you pop fade and you jump at the right time, you hit map geometry at the right time, you can then do a super duper jump, and this lets you get to all kinds of mad places as Moira. And the question is this broken? Does Moira need nerfing because of this? Does it make her obscenely OP? And I think the answer to that is absolutely, well, no, it really doesn't. I just can't see where the negativity is coming from here. Like, I mean, you can blame Blizzard for not looking at reducing, I don't know, Batiste Lamp or some other support's power level. But honestly, I'm really failing here to see how giving Moira a much higher jump while using fade is breaking the game. You see, the thing is, right, I found this change pretty fun to play with. In fact, no, I found it really fun to play with. I've really enjoyed this because it gives you the option to use fade to quickly grab high ground instead of just reserving it for dodging damage, because you would always save fade for, I don't know, I need to get out of a grab, I need to just get out of the way of this incoming damage. You'd very rarely use fade to go into a fight. If you're crap like me, then maybe you would. But now you can like use fade to go, oh, I need to just maybe get up to high ground to help that DPS out or something like that. And I think that actually gives you a new element. It's fun, right? That's the thing. It's a fun change. It's not a boring ass increase of like, I don't know, percentage increase of Moira's healing juice. I mean, okay, that's great. That gives them more power, but it's bloody boring. This isn't boring. This is fun. So I'm all for these kind of patches, really, or this kind of change. Maybe not patches, but this kind of change. You see, because if you add new fun elements to the game, and, well, you add new fun elements to heroes, it makes the game more fun, and that can never really be a bad thing, right? Especially when it doesn't, like, totally break the game. All right, so that's a fun change I agree with, and honestly, you should probably agree with that change as well. Anyway, let's talk about the next one. So, oh my god. Hanzo's Storm Arrow now ricochets once upon impact. I'm not even sure where to start with this. Because adding more random elements to Hanzo, it's never a good thing. I mean, it's bad enough. He can one-shot most of the hero cast just spamming chokes. And then you go and now let him bounce Storm Arrows round corners. I think that's a bit too much, right? Maybe the devs have forgot how annoying Scatter Arrow was. No, actually, this is nowhere near as powerful as Scatter Arrow. I mean, Scatter Arrow was ridiculously broken. Storm Arrow's nowhere near the power level. But all this change really does is increase frustration playing against Hanzo. And I don't really think Hanzo is in exactly any kind of need for this sort of buff. I think, if anything, Hanzo suffers really from power creep on other heroes. And honestly, I think Hanzo was pretty fine as he was. Adding this sort of meme crazy buff from the creator experimental, it just seems, I don't know, it just seems a bit silly to me. Basically, I don't really like being killed by random crap. Cassidy can now roll in the air, as if Doomfist mains needed more woe in their lives. So if you try and uppercut this Cassidy, he'll just roll away from you in midair, so you can't actually combo him. So yeah, one of your counters is even stronger against you now. I mean, Doomfist, he's got literally no love in Overwatch for a very long time. So this is, yeah, bad news for Doomfist mains. Also, like, what about getting booped by Lucio? You just roll away. You see, on the face of it, this doesn't seem like that much of a buff. It seems like kind of a small buff. But in reality, it gives a lot more survivability to an already chunky hero. Ever since that crazy 225 HP buff Cassidy got, yeah, he's been quite difficult to kill, and he's been very, very strong in the DPS meta. I think what I'm getting at here is similar to the Hanzo situation. It's maybe a buff that's not really needed and only really serves to ramp up power creep and give extra power to heroes that don't really need it. It's weird. Torb's alternate fire ammo reduction buff. Great. I mean, this is just whatever. I'm not even sure why they bothered with this, to be quite honest. Reinhardt Shatter doing damage on impact. It's all memes and funny as hell. But hear me out here. I don't really think this is broken either. This is a pretty fun power fantasy for Reinhardt. If you slam somebody at point blank range, you should cause high damage to them. And I think this really should have just been in the game since day dot. Typically, when you slam a target at point blank range, you either charge it into a wall or fire strike, melee it. It's going to die anyway, or somebody else from your team's going to pump damage into it and kill it. Now, I know, sure, you can say, well, actually, there is a chance there for other players to, let's say Zarya is a good example here. If you knock somebody down at point-blank range, Zarya can then react and put a bubble on that person, and you might not be able to kill them. Whereas if you just straight up do 200 damage the instant you use Shatter, well, then there's no chance to even outplay that, right? But honestly, if a Reinhardt's going to run up to you and shatter you at point-blank range, he should be doing damage to you, right? At least that's what I just feel that's okay. Anyway, so causing 200 damage, 1.75 meters from the epicenter of his ult, I think is fine by me. It also lets Ryan rush in and slam grabs, I don't know, for like a potential new ultimate combo. But maybe I'm drinking the Reinhardt Kool-Aid era, guys, and if I am, I do like that Kool-Aid, then do let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Wrecking Ball Grapple now terminates after 6 seconds of being connected to a surface. This stops spin to win stalls, which is great, and that's what this is designed to do. It's going to piss off ball mains, but honestly, it's either piss them off or piss everybody else off with a super frustrating, like, spam, well, it's not spam tactic, but super frustrating stall tactic, and I think it's fine, like, whatever. So what is this patch all about? This is the issue. It's very mixed messages. It's half and half. It's half fun changes, looking at Moira and the Reinhardt changes, and it's half, what the hell are these changes? Let's look at Hanzo and Cassidy. The lack of dev notes is really not helping here as well. It would be nice to know why the devs decided that adding Ricochet to Storm Arrows is a good idea. Like, what data points, why did they think it was a good idea? I don't know. Like, you couldn't even say to me, oh yeah, we think Hanzo, it's fun when Hanzo can spam even more random stuff around the corner. I don't think anybody would go, oh yeah, that's great. I don't think Hanzo mains even want this. It's crazy. It's like, what? In my mind, you either go fun gameplay changes in a patch or technical balance mode. And they've kind of, I don't know, tried to do sort of both, but it's got really muddled and really mixed. And that's a problem because it sends mixed messages out to the player base and people don't know what this is. Is this a meme patch? Is this a joke patch? Well, actually, no, it's just in the game right now. This isn't experimental. It's straight in the game. You can play it right now in all modes of the game. One thing that's for sure, though, is it is total madness that no balance change has been introduced to Overwatch since last August. So maybe this is Blizzard just trying to do something with the game. I mean, I guess it's got us talking about it at least, right? Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. I've been Stylosa. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. You can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa. And yeah, I'll catch you lovely lot on the next video. Toodaloo.